Hello everyone, welcome back to the fabrication shop. Today we'll be looking at how we create the decals for our Explorer Alpha rocket. If you're new to the channel, we want to encourage you to subscribe and hit the bell so that you can be notified when we drop our next video. With our rocket painted, it's time to create some decals for it. Since the Explorer Alpha is designed to look like an early sounding rocket, we wanted our decals to have the same look and feel. In the end, we only created 3 new decals for the model. First decal I wanted to create was the AAEN logo. I have plenty of copies of this graphic, so that wouldn't be an issue. The second decal is the American flag. I had a flag from my original Star Blazer build that I decided to use. I'll put a link to this decal sheet in the description below. The other option is to look online for a flag. A simple internet image search will display a number of flag images. Find one that you like and download it. I would recommend that you find a large image, as they tend to look much better when scaled down. A small image never looks good when it's scaled up. The experimental decal makes up the final one that I wanted to create. I found a font called Gunplay, and we'll link it below, and I installed it on my machine. I was now ready to start putting a decal sheet together. All 3 of these decals need to fit inside the 1/2 inch or 15 millimeter wide stripe, so everything needs to be slightly less in order to fit. I use LibreOffice to create my decal sheets, but any word processor will work. You can also use a graphics program that will allow you to add text. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. I started by adding the AAEN logo and the US flag graphic to the document. Next, I clicked on the settings on each graphic. I needed the width and height dimensions. Make sure that the height and width aspect ratio are linked. Then I set the height to 0.4 inches. Both of these graphics will now fit inside the stripe with a little bit of white above and below them. Next is the experimental decal. Using a ruler alongside the document, I typed out experimental using the Gunplay Font. Then I began adjusting the height until it was also at about 0.4 inches. This turned out to be 32 point. With the graphics laid out, I created a draft printout using plain paper. The graphics were cut out and placed on the model to see how they would actually fit. With the sizes confirmed, it was time to create the actual decal sheet. Decal sheet paper is available for both inkjet and laser printers. Just make sure you use the correct paper for your printer. If you don't want to create water slide decals, you can also print the same thing on stick-on vinyl. Again, use the correct type of vinyl for your printer. Lay the decals out on the document. I always include extras in case I mess something up. Things like flags can also be used on other models. Then I print the sheet out on plain paper and make one last review of the decal sheet. If everything looks correct, it's time to print the actual decal sheet. Well, that concludes this episode on creating our decals. In our next episode, we'll look at printing the sheet and applying the decals. If you've enjoyed this video, and if you like what we're doing here, please click on the like and subscribe buttons. If you hit the bell, you'll be notified when we drop our next video. So until next time, wishing you all the best and take care.